Hey bookworms, so the news is officially out. We are opening a bookshop. I am so excited. The reception has been absolutely insane. I've had so many amazing comments and DMs and people reaching out on TikTok, which is not normally my main place, and emails, and so many people are coming out of the woodwork to say that, you know, they have something to do with the book industry and they'd love to help and all of these awesome things. Something else I've been getting a lot of though is questions. So that is what I'm going to do with you today. I'm going to go through a big Q&A all about the bookshop and the Kickstarter and just everything that is going on, I guess. So I have my phone with my big list from you guys, and I'm going to go through them one by one and tell you all of the things. The first question is the shop name. Now, I thought this was going to be really obvious. I did not expect people to ask this question. The shop will be called Paper and Word. That is the name of my business as it is now. That feels like the perfect bookshop name. It is something that I've had in the back of my mind for a long time, that this would always turn into a bookshop. So I wanted to choose a business name that would fit that nicely. And I think that Paper and Word is really cute. So that's what we're going to be. We are going to be Paper and Word, the bookshop. A few people have asked on Instagram and things, we've been showing off our tweaked branding for the bookshop and our bookshop illustration, and I've been saying the next chapter a lot. And I think a few people have thought that the bookshop itself will be called the next chapter. It's not. I think there has to be bookshops in the world that are called the next chapter. That just feels like a good name that will already have been taken. But we've been saying that the bookshop is the next chapter for Paper and Word. So I think there's been a bit of confusion there, but the shop will be called Paper and Word. Where is it? Okay, so this has only just been revealed on Instagram and everywhere else. We will be in the Wirral, as I've said previously, but specifically the bookshop will be in Bebington Village. Bebington Village is very close to where I live, which is wonderful. It means that I can walk to work every day, but it also is the place that I grew up. I've been here and left and come back again, and it is very much home for me, Bebington, so it's really nice to have a little piece of that for the bookshop. Bebington Village itself as well has really improved over the last few years. We've seen a number of independents open that are just really lovely and make a big difference to the community. So we have a board game cafe, a micropub, a bottle shop, and other bits and bobs that are just really lovely. There's also quite a lot going on locally. In 2025, there's a cafe and a second-hand bookshop called Nettle that's opening around the corner near Portsmouth train station. We also have Claremont Farm. Claremont Farm has teamed up with someone to have a flower field there this year, which means that you can go out and pick your own flowers, but there's lots of workshops around flowers and growing them and like floral arrangements and things, and it's all just really lovely and wholesome. It feels like a really good time for the local community this year because there's just so much going on. How do I get to you? So, as previously mentioned, Portsmouth train station is our local train station. That is, I would say, a 5-minute walk up an incline. I wouldn't necessarily say hill, it's more of an incline. And you will just come to the shop. You know, you go under a little bridge and you follow that road and we will appear in front of you like magic. So it's a super short walk. We're also a few feet away from some bus stops, so you can get to us by bus. There is a free car park behind the bookshop, so you can drive and park. And there is, I believe they're now working, there's electric car charging points in there as well. They weren't working like a year ago, but I haven't looked again since. I assume that they're working now. If you're coming from further afield, you can get the train to Liverpool Lime Street Station, which is a big national station, and then we're like 15 minutes on one train from there. So we are only 2 trains from London, a national one, and then the Merseyrail train to us. Super easy to find us. How big is the shop? Okay, officially the shop is 50 meters squared. Now, if that means nothing to you, like it does to me, it's kind of not too big, not too small. I'd say it's on the smaller side in terms of just general retail size, but as far as bookshops go, some bookshops can be really tiny, and we're not super tiny. We do have some really big windows at the front though, so when it comes to bookshelf, When it comes to bookshelf space, we have some windows that kind of take that out. But instead, what we'll be doing is we'll just be having floor to ceiling shelving on the walls that we do have available, and we're going to have a beautiful rolling ladder and lots of other things. We have a good amount of space. There should be spots to sit and plenty of books and things that we can fill the shop with. How are you decorating? Okay, so as I mentioned before, we've had a slight tweak to our brand. So our branding is very bright and colourful and bold. A fantasy bookshop to me felt like it just needed to be a little bit deeper, more on the jewel tone side than the verging on neon side that we already have. So we've been working with our brand designer Kaylee, and she has given us a tweak to our colour palette, so we've added in some deeper tones. Now it's these colours that we're going to be using for the shop itself. So we have 3 main darker colours. One's kind of like a plum, one's a teal, and one's more of like a deep magenta, I suppose. So we will be painting the outside of the shop one of those colours. Currently it's 2 colours. It is from the previous owners. It is white and like a royal blue. Yeah, I'd say royal blue. We will be changing that so it's just one colour all over. The windowsills, the boards, like everything will just be one colour. And we also have a really, really cute canopy that goes over the front window that's got a really cute frill on the edge. We're going to replace that so that it also matches. For the inside, we'll be painting the bookshelves really lovely colour, we'll be putting wood flooring through, and we are going to have a star-flecked ceiling. So we're going to have gold, metallic gold stars on the ceiling in kind of constellation shapes. I am going to do this by hand, and I'm sure I'm going to regret that at some point. But for now, I'm just going to make a handful of star stamps, I think, that are slightly different shapes and sizes, and just like and go crazy all over the ceiling and put some nice dots between them and turn them into constellations and have some like gold fleck splatters and just niceness. So that is the decorating plan, I suppose. We will have, I think I already said that we'll have some nice spots to sit. We'll have some central like surfaces that we'll have products on, but we're going to make sure that everything is on casters because we don't have a huge amount of space or a separate space for events. We'll be using the main shop floor for the events. So it means then that we can wheel everything out of the way and put all the seating in for events and things. Will we have paper and word merch? Yes, we will. We will have paper and word merch. So we're working on a number of things. Currently, right now, as part of the Kickstarter, we have a brand new sticker pack that is in our tweaked branding colours, so in the bookshop's colours. We have some stickers of our really nice keys with the keychains on that say cute things like the next chapter, dreams come true, and I can't remember what the others say, but nice bookshop things. We also have some bookmarks that are like a velvet touch laminated with nice round corners. They are branded for the bookshop. And we then have a gorgeous, gorgeous tote bag that we've been working with our brand designer and Alphabet Bags for. So we currently, on our website, we currently stock these really amazing tote bags that say books and snacks. They are the most insane quality tote bags. They are so thick and they have a really wide bottom as well, so you can fit so many books in. As an example, you can fit the entire of Sarah J. Maas's hardbacks in. So Throne of Glass, Crescent City and ACOTAR, every single one of them, you can fit them all in hardback. And you can also fit, what was the paperback ones that we used? Oh, The Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb, which is 16 paperbacks that are like this thick. You can fit all of those in. So these are huge tote bags. We've worked with them so that we can have that same really good quality, and we have an exclusive plum colour for the Kickstarter with gold foiling on. And that has an illustration of the bookshop and it says paper and word, the next chapter. I'm just kind of obsessed, if I'm honest. So you'll only be able to get those ones on the Kickstarter, but we will have a new variation of the paper and word tote bag in store when we open up as well. And probably some other things as we go, because I really love our brand and our illustrations, and I think that everybody else does too. So it's really nice to have stuff like that on merch. What kind of books will we stock? Okay, This seems to have been a bit of a sticky point on TikTok, so I'm going to explain the sorts of books we're going to have. So we will be fantasy exclusive. So that means we will not do books that are not fantasy. That includes sci-fi, because fantasy and sci-fi are different genres. There is some grey area in the middle. The grey area books we will choose on a case-by-case basis, but the general rule is if it feels too sci-fi, I'm not going to pick it, because we're not a huge bookshop. You know, we're not talking Waterstone's 3 stories worth of bookshop here. I only have so much space, and I can choose every single book that comes in the door. So we will be fantasy exclusive. We will also stock some indie authors, some self-published titles. That will be from probably October time, because that takes a lot of work to collate them all and figure out what we're going to stock and how we order them, because a lot of them, they have a different process and things. There's only one of me, and I can't do all of that whilst running paper and word and renovating and opening a bookshop at the same time. I have to pick and choose my tasks, so that will be more around autumn time. We will have paperbacks, hardbacks, exclusive editions. I guess that's kind of it. We'll have all the subgenres of fantasy, so romantasy, high fantasy, urban fantasy, historical fantasy, everything else in between. Fantasy, basically. Fantasy. Why not sci-fi is a question that I'm getting asked. And it's purely because I love fantasy. That's why, because there are so many fantasy books out there that I don't need to fill space with something else. I want to stock fantasy. It is what I know the best, it's what I enjoy the most, it's what I can give the best service for. I am just really freaking hyped about fantasy, so I'm only gonna stock that. I have no issues with sci-fi, I enjoy sci-fi, but yeah, that's not what I'm gonna choose to stock. Will we have a book club? Yes, we will have a book club. The logistics I have not figured out yet. Again, it probably won't be something that happens straight away because of everything else that is happening straight away, but we will have a book club. Personally, I'm a little bit stressed about this because I am a huge mood reader. I am worried that I'm gonna choose a book, or we're gonna agree to a book, however we do it, and I won't read it because something else will have been shinier to me and I will read that instead. The logistics side of how the book club itself is actually going to run, I need to think about, because it might be that when we hire more team for the bookshop that it's better suited for one of them to run it, or it might be that we just open up our space to existing book clubs or other people that want to use the space to start their own book club. But they will exist, whether it is me or you or a combination of all of those things. We will have space. We will be holding space for a book club. Will we be hosting events? Yes, we will. We will have all kinds of events. So we'll have the obvious. We will have author talks and signings. We will have midnight releases for some books. We will have book clubs, as pre-mentioned. My classes is an event, I guess. We also have some other exciting bookish type events in the works that are more centered around more like activities, I suppose. We will have lots and lots of events that we will be releasing a calendar for closer to opening. When will it open? That was a good segue, wasn't it? That was actually the next one on my list, I promise. So when will it open? Our timeline is this Thursday on the 6th of February, we are starting our Kickstarter. So that is to help fund the renovations and the initial book order and everything nice to open up the bookshop. That is running from the 6th until the 28th of the month. We then have a couple of weeks where we can just get our shit together, hopefully touch all the wood and stuff. We will have reached our goal, which means we then need to just kind of wait for the money to come in because it takes a few weeks to get to us. We can then start arranging dates for like the exterior painter to come, the sign painter, the plumber, the electrician, and all of that stuff. 31st of March, we get the keys, and we then start renovating that very second. So as soon as we get in, we're going to start renovating, and we will probably be doing that for about 2 months. So we have lots of people coming in terms of professionals. I'm going to try and rope as many non-professional friends in as I can as well to help us paint especially. My brother will be coming up. He lives in the south of England. He will be coming up to help us lay the floors and do some other stuff. So it will be all go, and I'm hoping, if everything goes to plan, that we will then be able to open for the end of May. I'd really like to open May Bank Holiday weekend. The second one, there's 2. That is our plan for now. I don't feel like I can put that in solid stone until we've got in there properly, but that is the plan. Do you have disabled access? Yes, we do. So we have a very small step outside the shop. It's almost flat on one side, but it's on a bit of a wonk, and it tapers to maybe like 2 inches max. And we have a fold away ramp, so you will be able to get into our shop. Ooh. So yes, we have disabled access. Can I buy online if I'm not local? Yes, you can. So our website as it is now will stay the same, I suppose, but we will be adding books to it. We can't put everything on there, but we will be putting the majority of our books on there, and we will be putting a lot of our merch on there too. We will be keeping some merch items exclusive to in-store only. But I'll give you more details on that when we get nearer the time. That is mostly because I haven't quite decided which ones yet. It will probably be tote bags in some shape or form, maybe different colours, maybe different designs, but I'll tell you when I know. Okay, so the rest of the questions are more Kickstarter specific. The big one is, what is our goal and what are we using the money for? So our goal is £25,000, and we will be using this for the nice stuff, I suppose. Things that we'll be using that money for will be painting the outside of the shop, the signage on the outside, building the bookshelves, painting everywhere, new flooring. There's a sink on the shop floor that we need to move it into the back. We'll be getting storage, lighting, everything that you can think of, including all of the books. So we have to pay for all of the books up front. You can imagine how much that would cost. There's not a massive profit margin when it comes to books. It's about 30%-ish discount that we get on buying books. You know, if you think of how many paperbacks, hardbacks, etc. that it will take to fill the bookshop, it is thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. That is the sort of thing that we'll be spending the money on. There is a more detailed list that isn't just off the top of my head within the Kickstarter itself. Things that we're not spending it on though, before we set up the Kickstarter, I did a lot of research into other people's Kickstarters that were for a physical space of some sort, including a lot of bookshops. Now, I couldn't find any other UK bookshops that had done this through Kickstarter. It doesn't mean they don't exist, but I couldn't find any. So all of the ones that I was basing my research off were in America. And a lot of those were asking for things like a number of months' rent for security, the deposit that they had to put down on the space, solicitors' fees, like lawyers' fees, insurance, permits, etc., etc. We've not included that within our budget because we're also putting our own money in. We will be covering all of the boring things, I suppose. So everything from Kickstarter is to do the nice stuff, to fill the space, to make it magical. Okay, so how does Kickstarter work? So Kickstarter is an all or nothing kind of place. So we have our £25,000 goal. If we are even a penny under that, we get nothing. We don't get anything at all. We also don't have to pay any fees at that point. Everybody walks away, but it's all or nothing. So if we don't hit our goal, we don't get the money. How it works in terms of reaching that goal. So there's 2 different ways that you can back the campaign. We've put together loads of really cool rewards that include physical products or more experience-based things, and you can choose from that list. So the things include book sleeves, books, tote bags, merch packs, stickers, bookmarks, etc. Or the more experience-based ones include a bookish photo shoot with Liam. You can work in the bookshop with me for a day. You can get tickets to our launch party. We even have a really crazy one, just in case, that is free books for life. So there's lots of different ways that you can choose your rewards. You can add on some extras if you want to. You can choose more than one. You can combine things. Or alternatively, if you want to help support the bookshop and you want to back the campaign, but you don't really want anything in return, you don't want any stuff for it, then you can back it without that. You can just choose to put whatever money in that you want, and that is that. Now, with it being an all or nothing type situation, The Kickstarter ends on the 28th of February, so we need to have hit our goal by the 28th. If we haven't hit it, I think it ends at like 9 or 10 p.m. If we haven't hit it by then, nothing happens, it's over, I go and cry for a bit. But if we have hit it, what it means for people that have backed the Kickstarter campaign is that you will get charged after that. So that is after payday, and I've done that specifically to help you all. So I think you get charged, I think the official rules are you get charged within 2 weeks of the campaign ending, but I think it's usually within a couple of days. And then for us, we get the money, it's either 3 or 4 weeks after the campaign is finished. So right at the end of March, around the time when we'll get the keys, if all goes to plan. In terms of how long you have to back the Kickstarter, you can do it at any point during the 3 weeks that it's open, from the 6th to the 28th. In theory, the sooner you do it, the better it is for us, because the more people that are excited about the project and that sign up ready for the actual launch date of it and that back the Kickstarter on the launch day, we kind of hit Kickstarter's like, this is an exciting project parameters, which means that we can then get their Project We Love badge. And that means that they will give us more promotion across their website and emails and things like that. And it also just adds that stamp of approval to the project. So if you can back as soon as possible, then that's amazing for us. It also means from a stress perspective, the sooner we hit our goal, the less time I'm sat refreshing it thinking, oh God, please let us reach this goal. So yes, but you can do it right up until the very last second. And regardless of when you pledge, whether you do it on day one, whether you do it on the very last day, you still get charged at the same time. It will be after the project is finished. I think that is all of the questions that I've been repeatedly asked from different places. If you have any more, then please put them in the comment section below, or feel free to send me a DM on Instagram or drop me an email, whatever is best for you. I will be adding some more of the Kickstarter specific Q&As to the Kickstarter page itself as well. There's an FAQ section on there. Yeah, that is everything for now. I will be sharing all of the details of the journey with you. I have been filming some more behind the scenes of the process for the Kickstarter, so I'll be sharing that with you soon. And obviously I'll be showing you all the fun stuff of the bookshop as well. So when we get the keys and how we're going to decorate and all the stuff that's happening in the background, because there is so much planning happening, but also some really exciting people are just finding me and asking if they can help with things, or even just publishers that I haven't approached yet because it felt a bit too soon, that they've come to me and said, you know, we want to begin this relationship, and it's all very, very exciting. So I will be sharing a lot more about all of these things with you soon. And in the meantime, subscribe for more of this bookshop journey, or follow me on all of, the platforms, whichever one you prefer, and I will see you soon. Bye.